it's I think it's just one of those things I'm really bad at.
Okay.
And they tell you when you're bad at something to work on it. So
Okay.
that's what my parents told me when
So-
I was growing up.
So what are you bad at? Is it like the walking on concrete?
It's I have trouble on the keyboard,
Oh,
like
okay.
pressing the buttons.
Oh,
So
okay. So
Yeah.
it's not about going outside. So what got you into coaching?
RuneScape.
RuneScape, okay.
Yeah.
So was it just like all the auto clickers? Is it
Yeah,
just like,
I
man,
just-
I want to
I-
manage people like auto clickers?
I really like in RuneScape they have I think it's like something where you can do gardening.
Okay.
And I really like growing plants in RuneScape.
Okay.
So it's like that's kind of like coaching, right?
Yeah, 1-to-1.
Right.
if you
You're like
will. Yeah,
growing.
yeah.
You're like growing plants, growing humans.
Exactly. You know, with like a little bit of keyboard. So tell me, everybody wants to know, when you're in a death match with one of your students on Valorant, and they get a headshot on you, do you ever like question if you should be coach or not?
It depends on who it is.
Okay, say it's like Charles.
If it's Charles, Charles is interesting. He has this. I think his mouse has been broken
Okay.
for a while because when he gets the kill, he keeps on shooting.
Oh.
And I told him about it, and he said it just happens, but he'll kill you, and you can tell he's still there, but the bullets just keep on going. So I told him he probably needs to buy it. He probably needs to buy a new mouse.
Yeah, it's not his fault. You
Yeah.
know, it's just it's you know. In no irony, it's a pandemic, right? It's a sickness through esports that our mouse just gets sick and it just keeps shooting.
Right.
You know, it's not nobody's fault.
Right.
You could have killed him and been better, but you know, sometimes you're not. And it's okay. It's okay
Right.
not to be good.
And,
You know?
And I've also noticed there's a guy on our Valorant team.
Okay.
His main game is Hearthstone, but his name's
Oh.
Sebastian.
Oh, okay.
Sebastian de Hoyos.
Oh, you
I don't
mean
know
the catfish? Because I know it's not sea bass.
No,
It's not catfish.
Sebastian.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know why he does this, but I think when he's playing deathmatch, he likes to play with no sound.
Mhm.
So he'll mute his Discord and everything. He'll I think he turns his game sounds down too.
Oh.
So you know he's just different, and he just
You just kind of.
I think he plays the games like that too. Like he
Oh.
plays comp and he doesn't have game sounds on.
Oh yeah, he just kind of senses.
Yeah, and you
it,
can kind of
smells it.
you can tell when you watch him play, and he does some really dumb stuff, but then you're like, oh okay, well he doesn't have game sound on, so it makes sense.
That makes sense. So another thing related to Valorant, and this is a question that I feel we've had this conversation, right? You're very passionate about this conversation, and I know it kind of gets you upset. I know it upsets you when people don't take unrated seriously.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you have to say about people who are just like there to have fun in an unrated?
I mean, go find a different game. You know, if you want to have fun, you know, I don't even know what games are. Go play Minesweeper or something. We have a young man on our team named Miles.
Okay.
And you know he was playing Valorant for a little bit, and then he started having a little too much fun. I had to put him in his place. Told him get on. Was it Minesweeper?
Yeah, Minesweeper.
So he's been playing that. Yeah, if you want to have fun, you know, go play something else. Valorant is for,
all serious.
Yeah, all serious. You have to be try hard.
No matter what, right? Like in deathmatch, you have to win.
Yeah.
Like, it's camping. It's doing stuff you shouldn't do in real matches just to get the win.
Absolutely. It's all about the win. It's all about the win.
Okay. So, let's read the comments. Not Miles, okay. So, what would you say if I had to give a hot take, right? Who is your least favorite player on the team and why? On the team, Why is it Tim?
Sorry, when you say that name, it just...
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, where do I start? have you seen him?
Yeah, he got a haircut.
Was in the move.
You think it affected his Valorant gameplay?
I mean, let's be honest, it was already kind of...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, too tall. Hair. Too red.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, what was the question again? I
just got so upset.
I was just seeing red.
No, I was just saying, who was your favorite player on the team and why is it Tim?
Oh, my favorite player?
No.
Just...
Why is it Tim?
Like favorite and least favorite?
Yeah.
And why is it Tim?
Yeah, why is it Tim?
I mean, he's just got it all. He's got it all. He's tall.
Oh, yeah. That's a good quality.
Yeah. I love his hair color. Have you seen his new haircut?
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's really nice.
It really helped his Valorant gameplay.
It has. I think he, of all the people on the team, he's probably come the furthest.
Yeah, I'm proud of him. He's doing really good.
You mind if I hold the plant for a little bit?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Here you go. You can hold it. So, who's the tallest? Oh, it's me. So how do you feel about this plant? Does it get you upset? Make you happy?
When I first saw you, I thought it was going to be a gift for me.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't.
I stole that from Anna, by the way.
Yeah.
She doesn't know I have it.
Yeah.
You can have it if you want.
Well, I don't want to get in trouble. So
oh, okay.
I won't give it back. But, I think this plant represents a lot of things.
Well, what are those things? It's very pink. The pot. Yeah. It's a good pot. Okay, so that was our little rendition of Between Two Ferns with One Plant. But I thought we'd have a little fun with that. Good job. I laughed a little in between. I don't know if you noticed.
I didn't notice.
I turned my head like hard this way.
I was enjoying. I was in the zone.
I think it was. I think it's when you started. When I said least favorite the first time, you started talking about Tim. I was like, I just looked because I started laughing. But yeah, that was just a little fun little spot with me and Travis. So to kick it off, what in serious mode, what got you into esports?
What got me into esports? Obviously, been gaming my whole life.
Okay.
It's funny, we were joking about, I referenced RuneScape earlier.
Yeah.
RuneScape actually was probably the first true game I recall playing.
Mm-hmm.
Third grade, playing RuneScape all the way through like middle school. So that's kind of what got me exposed to it. Then things like StarCraft. I know a lot of people get into gaming when they have older siblings.
Okay.
I don't have an older sibling, but I did have a cousin who lived in Nebraska and went up to visit one time. I must have been, again, really young. And he had a copy of StarCraft 1. He had a copy of StarCraft Brood War.
Okay.
And I played it. For those of you who don't know, StarCraft, one of the original esports, 1998. Huge in Korea, still is to this day. Paved the way for esports. Anyways, I got to start in there. I liked it. Into 1.6, Counter-Strike Source, CSGO, StarCraft 2. Those are kind of been the games that I've been playing pretty much my whole life growing up. So at different parts of my life, I've always been playing like a different game.
Yeah.
I will say though, some people they enjoy more casual games or single player, and nothing wrong with that. But for me, I've been playing pretty much some competitive game, like as far as I can remember.
So it's pretty much been, you've always been around the competitive scene, right?
Yeah.
More like 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
So you kind of understand how kind of the competitive scene works.
Yeah. Different games, different scenes, but one thing that I found that I always ended up doing in whatever game I was playing was I really liked making a clan or making a little team or making a group of friends. And for some reason, I just always I gravitated towards that, and I never knew that, like, hey, I never made the connection, like, hey, I like doing this stuff. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until StarCraft 2 that, sure enough, I ended up making a little team again. But this time, I actually followed through with it. You know, and that's kind of where I got me where I am today.
If y'all didn't know, Travis, what would you say the role was? Like founder, manager?
So, you know, I was the original founder. From day-to-day operations, I served as the general manager. So kind of like what I do in this coaching role now, recruiting, sponsorships,
General manager of
partnerships, market of the team, of the entire team.
Yeah.
Again, recruiting, running tryouts, tournaments. That's one thing I haven't talked about with you. I haven't shared that experience, but I've run hundreds of tournaments in StarCraft.
Oh, nice.
Taking money from sponsors, personal donors, and then turning that around and using it to put on tournaments in StarCraft. So I actually have a decent amount of experience in that. You know, granted that's in StarCraft 2, but yeah, just anything I could get my hands on that I wanted to learn, I would just do it. There's like, I didn't have anyone to teach me. I was just like, I want to run a tournament. Just go run a tournament. It's gonna be bad the first few times, but
yeah,
you know,
you just
get
gotta
better,
keep going.
You get better and you learn. You know, you pick up little things and you get better.
Nice. So you did play. Were you talk about like when you used to play for the team a little bit? Because I know you've touched into like you playing like semi-pro.
Yeah. So
how was it being a player?
It's one of those things, and when you do something and you're immersed in it, I feel like you're more hesitant to say like I'm a semi-pro or I'm an amateur, because you actually know how good it takes. Like, for example, I play piano.
Okay.
And, you know, realistically, I'm much better than the average person. But when people ask me, are you good at piano? I say no, because I know how good people really can be. So I'm always hesitant to say that. But I did compete in StarCraft 2, a little bit in CSGO. Valorant, obviously, is a much newer game. I played in some tournaments for that. StarCraft 2, when it came out, I was in high school. I was grinding it. I got to Masters pretty much as soon as Masters came out, which was their highest league at the time, right before Grandmasters, which was top 200. And I hovered around in there. And what I would do is I would travel to LANs up and down the Midwest, in Kansas, going to Chicago, Milwaukee. I would drive up there, and then I would go and compete. I'd play in those LANs. Usually I'd sign up for StarCraft 2, and then around 2013, 2014, I started also signing for CSGO and just competing, you know. Didn't necessarily win anything big, but, you know, making playoffs runs or just getting a team together, boot camping for a little bit and making a run. Played in some online leagues. So yeah, it was really fun. You know, my experience now from coaching, you know, I've been fortunate to win, you know, CSGO the Coach of the Year for last year, and Valorant now. I would not have won those awards if I had not had that experience playing, you know, on my own. So yeah, it was. I highly recommend it if you have the chance or you're interested in getting into the coaching field. And you know, it's not mandatory, but it definitely allows you to bring more to the table, right? Because I can actually offer some higher level thoughts and some higher level discussions for certain games, right? Not for every game, but for certain games. So I would recommend, if you have the chance, push yourself, right? And you know, it's just like traditional sports. People like to push themselves. If you're competitive, see how far you can make it, and then, you know, if you can't make it, that's fine. At least you learned a lot, you know, along the way, and you got good at something.
Yeah. So do you think, because like being a coach, you deal with a lot of the students on a day-to-day basis, a lot of different personalities, a lot of different, you know, like more people, some people get more tilted than others, get upset, and like emotions fly high. Do you think being a player, when you were a player at one point, before you were a coach, do you think that helps you as a coach, like being able to relate more, and not just like coming from like not really playing the sports, or like, or even casually playing the sports, like you were an actual player and now you're a coach? Do you think that helps you relate more in certain situations without like just saying, hey, you need to stop?
Right. Yeah. No, 100%. 100%. Again, I don't want to make it sound like it's required to be a coach, but there's no doubt it's an advantage. If you've gone through that experience, right, like a lot of what I was doing was in while I was in college. So number one, I understand the experience of just being a college student trying to balance playing, but then I also know to take it further, on top of that, competing and truly trying to be really good at a game.
Yeah.
So a lot of what our students are experiencing, I've gone through that, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm better than them or whatever. It just means that I have, that I can relate. And so when I talk with them, as you referenced an example, it's not, I really don't like it when someone comes into a situation and tries to talk like they have it all figured out, or like talking at somebody, trying to like just do it this way. I want people to understand why, when you explain something to somebody, because then they have a much bigger buy-in, right? When you show that you care enough or that you understand enough to take the time to explain it to them, then they'll actually be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'll actually put my best foot forward and try to do, what we talked about. But if you're just going and be like, yeah, you messed up on or you held that angle wrong. Sure, maybe they held the angle wrong, but like that doesn't really help them, So yeah, absolutely. I think my experience as a player, going through that, and even just me knowing what it took for me to improve, and the roadblocks that I had to go through, the mental barriers that I had to get past, the walls, that got me to where I am right now, and again, that helps me relate to what students are going through now. Because we have some players who are newer to the game, some who are already at more of an advanced level, and so I always try to do it case by case, depending on where that individual's at.
Nice. So, in traditional sports, right, the like basketball, football, and all that, usually when you have the head coach, right, and then you have like the defensive coaches, like every kind of beneath, but they're all kind of towards one sport, right? You got a head coach for basketball, he's coaching basketball. You got a head coach for football, he's coaching football. And they're very familiar with just that one kind of subject, right? And I know your background comes like CSGO, StarCraft, Val, Hearthstone. What do you do? What has your experience been when you have to like oversee a game you're not too familiar with, like Smash or Madden or FIFA or Rocket League? How do you...
That's a great question. I think this is something that a lot of coaches across the nation and esports specifically are facing, because of the situation, right? A lot of programs are starting up, and these coaches are being told, hey, we're ready to jump into esports, which is great, but they're like, okay, we want you to bring on like 6 games and coach them.
Yeah.
And it's not the university's faults, or whoever's bringing it on. They just don't know any better. But then it's up to the coach to make those decisions about how do I coach this, how can I efficiently make use of my time. For me, and I've been fortunate enough, I've spoken with quite a few other coaches. We've kind of shared ideas, and they kind of have the similar approaches. For the games that I have expert level knowledge, like a Counter-Strike, granted we don't have Counter-Strike here, but Counter-Strike, Valorant, Hearthstone, I can devote more time and actually talk with those students and offer, again, those high-level discussions and ideas. But for a game like Rocket League, which I've said many times, I always use that example, I loosely understand what's going on, and I sit in on the practices and I listen to the communicate. But in terms of the mechanics and pulling that stuff off, I cannot. I just haven't put in the time, right? It would take me so long. So what I do in those situations is I try to facilitate and provide a good practice environment, like good, healthy communication between people on a team. And the good thing is, just like in traditional sports, there are concepts that supersede the game itself. So I mentioned communication, teamwork, getting along with each other, how to give criticism and take constructive criticism. These are things that apply to anything, right? Not even just sports, things in life. And I try to focus on those larger areas. But I would never go into like a Rocket League and be like, hey Charles, or hey Nate, you messed up on that flip reset. Get better at it, or here, you did that wrong, here's what you need to do. Like, I know that they know, and me going in there and trying to act like I know, not gonna help at all. So
alright. So kind of talking about the future, we'll kind of touch into like this fall. What would you say are you most looking forward to?
This fall, just
Yes.
This upcoming year. Honestly, number one, we have this brand spanking new space.
If y'all didn't know, we just moved into our new space.
Right?
Our new.
We didn't have this before.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of this, which y'all get to see if you haven't already. Hopefully, when the semester starts. So number one, excited to just use this space. The students deserve this space, and it's going to allow us to do a lot more programming out of here in terms of putting on tournaments and hosting events for the campus. So that's one thing I'm excited for. Our content crew program that Anna, our graduate assistant, helped kind of create from the ground up, and that you've also been a big part of right now. And this content that you're watching right now, going to see a lot more of that going forward and involving other students. That's also been a big interest of mine. Is as much as I love to compete, and we have students that love to compete, not everyone's interested in competing. But there's plenty of people who they're like, I just don't like competing, but I still want to be a part of this program. I really like esports. I like watching it, or I like commentating it. Now we're starting to create opportunities for those individuals to be involved, right? Because esports shouldn't, we talk about it being inclusive and diverse.
Yeah.
This is one of the ways we're going about, kind of tackling that issue, creating more opportunities for students to be involved.
Could you, I guess, what would be the word? Just how are you kind of going more into detail about what you just said? What are some ways that we're gonna tackle, like you said, inclusivity? Like, what are how can we, like, because like we had I Am a Gamer, right? We try to bring in more female gamers, kind of come in, more awareness about like bringing like the word Anna used was like marginalized gamers,
right.
Female gamers, underrepresented.
Populations.
Yeah. How do you think? How are we going to tackle that coming this fall?
Right. That's a good question. It's also like the $1 million question, because everyone's trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
There's not necessarily a right or wrong answer, right? There's no, it's you have to do it this way, and that's the correct way. No one has that figured out. But what I can say is that we're always trying to come up with new ideas, right? You mentioned the Women's Empowerment Month. We are doing events that whole month.
Yeah.
I just talked about the content crew program and how that involves other people, makes us more diverse. I really think it's just not being afraid to try new things.
Yeah.
Right? There's lots of things just in the world of gaming in general, not even esports, but in the broader world of gaming we can do to just work on the stigmas that are associated. It's good that we're working on smaller, more focused areas like more female representation, but as much as it's kind of a meme, the gamers being mistreated or whatever.
Yeah.
That is still a stigma, and depending on where you grow up or what your family's like, being a gamer it can still be viewed in a negative light.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, I was in my family when I was growing up. Like, they didn't stop me from doing it, but it was never looked upon as like something that was sustainable or something that you could do, past college. And now those opportunities are starting to. So it's informing people, educating parents, educating even our own staff here, educators, so that they can then pass that information on to their students. There's just I could ramble on and give you like 100 different ways, but again, to just bring it back, it's just awareness, generating more ideas, and for us as a program, not being afraid to put those ideas into place. Because women's empowerment, we did that. I think we were happy with how it went, but we also recognized, hey, this is what we want to change for next time.
Yeah.
Like, this is we could have changed this a little bit better, change the wording a little bit, maybe would have gotten more people, et cetera, et cetera. So just, you got to start somewhere and then work to refine it.
Nice. So, kind of the last question on that subject. Well, more of a scenario example. If a student, you saw them around a lot, right? And they really liked one of our games and such, but they're very kind of shy. If a very hesitant student came up to you, and you can see that they have potential, they play the game a lot, they're committed, but they're very hesitant to be a part of the team, just of stereotypes and hesitancies, stuff like that. What would you say to people with those sorts of concerns.
Yeah, I mean, if you've grown up and you've never had necessarily a friend group that shares those same interests, it can be tough, right? Because you're isolated. Maybe you only play with people you met online. Um, in the context of coming to a university for us here, you don't have to. If you're nervous, if you're shy, jumping on a team and trying out maybe not the best idea, right? Because that's a lot of commitment that goes into that. Communication is a must-have, right? And maybe those are skills that you just haven't developed, yet that you're comfortable with. So I would recommend, don't jump the gun and again go to the end. Find a medium. Join our Discord, right? Join it on a community night, something that is a little bit more casual, not as commitment heavy, right? Where you have the choice, right? If I'm a shy person and I see a community night, I'd be like, okay, I'll hop on that, maybe play a game or two, and then I just leave, and then whenever I'm ready to finish playing, I can just leave on my own accord, right? So try to find those types of opportunities. Just meet with people. Again, I'm going to reference Discord because it's a huge resource for us in developing our community of gamers here on campus. And so for individuals who are trying to find other people, because maybe you play a game that's a bit more niche, right? That not that many people play, right? Use the Discord, ask about it in chat. Be like, hey, does anyone else play this game? Right? Maybe you'll find that one or two other people who play that game, and then you can talk with them, and maybe you guys become friends, stuff like that. So just find your level of comfort, and then try to start there. Don't have it in your head like, I have to be on a team, or I have to do this, or I have to stream. You don't have to do that. You can just come in, at your own comfort level.
Yeah, that's one thing that I really like about our program is we've gotten so many comments with people who randomly join our Discord, right? And they jump in. They've nothing but good kind of reviews, right? Like how welcoming everyone is. There are people who are just randomly show up and they hop into a Discord. Hey, do you play Valorant? Do you want to hop in a game with us?
Right.
Complete strangers sometimes. A few of them just come in and then start talking to us, and sometimes they just sit in the Discord. And that's one thing I think is really cool about our community is we don't just we're not just exclusive to the university or our students and like, oh, you're from a different school, kind of like you're not really included. We have community nights where literally anybody in San Antonio, even if it's online, anybody usually like who has a computer, who's in our kind of community, can come play with us. I think that's like a really cool community we've built. Right.
And I mean, just to example from last night, and not to put him on blast, but someone joined our Discord. I forget his real name, but his in-game or on Discord is Rixa or something like that. And he was just, he was in the channel. I hopped in. There was a few other people playing. And he had sent in an application, and so I just mentioned it. I was like, hey, Rixa, I recognize your name. Saw your application. I'm just want to let you know that I'll get back to you on that. Just let them know that number one, I notice you in a good way. But after that, I think we played a game of Valorant. I streamed it on Discord. I know he's watching when I was streaming in Discord, and that's just an example of he's new to that community. That was his first time in our Discord, so I wasn't gonna necessarily, in my mind, I'm not. We had our 5. I wasn't gonna go and try to, at least initially, be like, hey, come play with us, because not everyone's interested in playing, right? Maybe he just wanted to watch, and he watched, and now that he knows, like, hey, these are some chill people. Maybe next time we play and we're asking like, hey, we're about to run a 5-second want in. Maybe next time, someone like that would be like, yeah, I'll hop in. So from my perspective, just tying back into that previous topic, just trying to be accommodating and not forcing someone into doing something that they don't want. Because especially if I don't know them, I don't know their comfort level, I don't want to jump the gun and put them in a situation where they have to make a decision. I'd rather let them observe and then let them step in at their own pace. Yeah,
that's really cool. So now we're gonna talk more, talked about more of the team and all that. We're gonna talk more like personal, as far as gaming. What would you say is your go-to kickback game? Like you're mindless, it's a stressful day, good day, bad day, and you're just like clicking through. You know, like mine is Hearthstone. If I go some casual fun deck Hearthstone, just kind of click through.
Hearthstone kind of does the same thing for me. It's a game where I can just have it on, and just like tab out, do something, talk to people,
On the
just
solo
have it in the
quest,
background.
yeah.
But something I view that more as something going on in the background. If we're talking about a game that I can just play, it's gonna sound super generic to the students that know me, but like a free-for-all in Counter-Strike,
Really?
or just like aim practice or a deathmatch, because that's how I got my skills up in Counter-Strike when I was first grinding, and I can play that stuff for hours. I'll put on my Spotify, and I'll just play 3 hours straight of free-for-all, and obviously I'm like, I'm focused on the free-for-all too, but I'm also thinking about stuff, what do I need to work on, what happened in the day. So that's always something I can go back to and I don't know, kind of relax on, getting, like you referenced, you had a stressful day. I know that free-for-all and it's something that doesn't require me to think too hard, and I can just play it, and it's just,
Nice. So what's your go-to genre? Like with me, I like a kind of linear kind of story games, but I like playing, like, I like more speed running and like kind of going through it fast, skipping cutscenes. What would you say is your go-to genre?
Well, I gotta say, I did really enjoy Skyrim. I played Skyrim for a long time. Haven't been able to find a game like Skyrim. Nice. I know there's ones out there. I just need to go and take the time to try them. But in general, it's got to be just competitive game, like probably FPS.
Yeah.
That's just what I've been playing for so many years. I really like pulling off those not even flashy plays, but just plays where it's a 1v1 and you win because you outthink your opponent, or you think, in chess, they think 3 moves ahead, I think 4 moves ahead, and it pays off. That gives me a huge rush, and it gives me a huge satisfaction. So I'm really attracted to games like that. But I also like games that reward you for having good mechanics.
So like skill?
Right.
Yeah.
Like in Valorant, for example, having good aim, having good crosshair placement. If that's something you practiced and you're very precise and accurate with it, and then you're rewarded for that, I like that. I don't like games that try to artificially make it too easy or put in too much randomness. Some randomness is fine. Every game has an amount of randomness that's out of your control, but there's some games that you can just tell they purposely dumb it down really hard, and that's when it loses the appeal for me.
Nice. Yeah, there was a game that, man, it was so much fun. We played last night. I think Anna told you about it.
I watched it.
Oh, that is so. There's a game called Human Fall Flat. Funniest game I have ever played, and I think that game I can just go it's just funny.
Right.
You're around your friends, you're doing funny stuff. Did you ever have a game like that you would go to, something that's not competitive, not story based, not anything? You can just goof off with your friends, do just dumb stuff, have laughs. Those nights you're just laughing.
I've played games like that, like party type games.
Yeah.
There hasn't been one consistently I've played, but they come, like Terraria, for example, or Overcooked or Minecraft. Games where it's not so much about playing the game as messing with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I can definitely appreciate games like that.
I really appreciate. I know there are some people who kind of steer away from that because they do want to just play competitive, and they're like, oh, I'm kind of in this. But sometimes you gotta kick back with some friends.
Yeah.
And it was always a good time. Minecraft was another one for me that we just played. Jackbox is a fun one.
Yeah, we did.
Scribble.io.
Yeah. Kind of spur of the moment. They don't even have to be
Sea of Thieves.
They don't even Sea of Thieves with Charles. There we go. Actually, that's a really great example. I can't believe I forgot about that. I feel bad. Sea of Thieves is actually probably the most recent one that I've really enjoyed, and it's kind of like a party game, but it's a little bit more.
Yeah, like you're doing stuff, but you can like goof off.
Right,
it's
not
make
about
jokes.
right. The mission is we're gonna do the mission, but it's about like Ivana eating ice cream,
Kind of
like
like
being AFK, or like Charles throwing fire bombs at his teammates. Or,
I know a big one that I wasn't into it when it was popular, but I know a lot of people have great memories of playing GTA Online.
Oh, GTA, yeah.
Yeah.
We played that for a little bit too.
Yeah, you're not really, you're doing some of the objectives, some of the heists and stuff, but some people just go to have fun, blow each other up. It's a good time.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna put it to chat. We're gonna talk to chat a little more. I know y'all have been talking, but we've just been going back and forth with the interview. If y'all got any questions for Coach, no matter what the question, favorite chicken strip, favorite tennis shoes, and why, go for it. If y'all want to ask questions, I'm gonna look through some of these comments. If you want to say anything,
no, I just read it. Avada said,
"Can I drop the playlist?"
I was about to. You dropped my playlist. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they had asked about this one. It's non-DMCA.
Oh yeah, I mean, sure,
Okay.
you can do it. Yeah, do whatever.
Bet.
Ivana. The joke of Ivana is there's been many times where we're in the middle of a mission or something, and we're all doing stuff, and then Ivana's just like there, just not moving, and then you're like, Ivana, you there? Like, help us, and then you hear her. She's like, yeah, yeah, I'm here.
That's hilarious.
And then you hear you hear the spoon like get put down on the table and makes that like clank sound. And she's like, yeah, I'm here. And then she'll start moving. You're like, what are you? Or she'll be like, man, I could really go for some ice cream right
So
now.
funny.
And sure enough, 2 minutes later, she's conveniently AFK.
That's funny. So this playlist I put together, it's non-DMCA, so if y'all want to use it on y'all stream, y'all won't get copy strike for it. Really cool. First question, favorite playlist for CSGO DM?
My playlist.
Your playlist.
My
What's your
playlist.
playlist?
It's my playlist.
What's the playlist?
It's got everything.
In detail.
You have to DM me on Discord. Mike already has. I'm pretty sure Mike already has my playlist.
Mm-hmm.
You know that playlist? Hit me up, Mike. I got you.
Nice. Isaiah says Nikes or Adidas.
Uh-oh.
We both have on those shoes.
Oh, you're there. We're about to see a fight go down stream. Growing up, Nikes.
Okay.
My parents always buy Nike. I mean, I don't want to say always because they didn't buy me like when it came time to buy new shoes.
Yeah.
My parents would get me Nikes. But now that I've been living on my own, the last few shoes I've bought have all been Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Adidas. Fun fact, actually, pretty popular over in China.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of.
Well,
Adidas
they're all
over there?
popular over in China, to be honest, but Adidas is quite popular.
Nice. Nice. I was about to say something. Yeah, growing up, I was on the up until I was about maybe 14 when I started playing basketball a lot more. 15 or 13 to 15. I always had and ones. Have you ever seen those before?
I did have a pair of and
Walmart
ones.
and ones.
I had a pair before they were like the Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got bought by Walmart.
I thought it was a Walmart brand.
No.
No?
And ones used to be based off the street ball team. And one.
Oh,
I believe.
I thought
if
that
I'm
was
wrong, correct me.
because I know Shaq is its own brand, and Shaq they're mainly sold out of Walmart. But I thought And One was just Walmart's athletic line.
No, I think And Ones used to be their own line, and they were. It was like the cool. It was like And One. They were a sponsor. I think they sponsored a team, whatever. But it was huge in street ball, and they were like their own deal. Now they got big enough to where I think they got actually bought out. I think it got bought out by Walmart or a bigger brand. But I remember back then, if you owned a pair of And Ones, like I kept those things clean. I didn't even play on the basketball team. But when it came time for PE, I had that pair of And Ones that I would keep in my my middle school locker for shoot. I forgot about this 7th, 8th grade. I keep them in my locker, and I'd only pull them out when it was time for PE.
Really?
And I had some wipes some special cleaner wipes, and I wipe them down, and all the other students were like, "Oh my God, he got the and ones! He got the and ones!" Like, it was legit. Now, to be honest, these days, I think since they got bought out, I could be talking out my butt right now, but I think the quality's gone down, and they're no longer viewed as like that super special brand.
Yeah, they're usually
now they're
like
more of a mainstream type deal.
Oh, I have to do that. Thank you, Anarchy, for the follow.
We got to do a stretch.
Yep. So next question, Charles says, how do you define success?
Did he ask me that question?
Yes.
Oh, how do you define success? For what? That can mean a lot of things.
I'm going to do it right now.
Joey's dad, 22.
That's my dad.
That's actually your dad?
Yeah, that's my dad.
Is that Mr. Murillo?
Yeah.
Your dad's dad?
That's my dad.
Okay.
That's my actual dad.
This is the original.
Thank you for
Murillo.
that.
Mr. Murillo. Okay.
Yeah.
Not the junior.
Not the junior. That's the me.
But how do you define success? By being top 500 in Overwatch.
What a legend.
That success is different for everybody. For me, how do I define success? I mean, that's a deeper question. I will say kind of the motto that I've been living by the past few years is trying to do things that, what's the word? Trying to do things for the now instead of worrying about, things that happened in the past. Like everyone has regrets from what they did in the past or mistakes, whatever. Similarly, not thinking too far into the future about the good things or the bad things that could happen. I'm focused on like what do I have in front of me right now that I'm working on that I actually have, that I can impact, that I actually have agency over. And for me, the past few years, it's been these teams, right? It was Ashland University prior to this, and now it's this program where I actually am the head coach, and so it's like making sure that the students are having a really great experience, that I'm creating a good program for this university that'll last years and years down the road, long after I'm gone. That's the goal. So that's kind of what I look for when it comes to success. Am I doing a good job of what I have in front of me now? And if I'm getting good feedback and the students are enjoying themselves and all that, then I can go home happy. And that also simultaneously motivates me. So, yeah, good question
though. Anarchy, is the Overwatch team looking for players?
Anarchy rules _ Overwatch team. Technically, tryouts are open right now. We might also do open tryouts when the semester starts. Like you'll be able to potentially come to the actual room and play. We'll have some set times where you can come in and stop by and play. But also for transparency's sake right now. So one of the big things I look at when I recruit, number one is there even a need for players? Like, do we have the space, like the slots on the team to even take in players? And the fact of the matter is right now Overwatch is actually kind of at capacity. We only have so many resources available as a program. I wish I could take in everyone who wanted to play, but the reality is I can't. So we have 20 people who want to join the team, but if we already have 6 people and 3 subs, I can even if I brought in somebody, they wouldn't get any playtime, right? Or it would dilute the playtime and experience of everyone else on the team, and then that's a lose-lose, right?
Yeah.
So what I do though is, right, people who send in applications, even if there's not an opportunity to play that semester, it's not like I throw your application away. I go back and look, right? When a spot becomes free, one of our students graduates, I'm like, oh, I need to refill this spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who applied it, right? Another good idea to throw it out there is maybe we don't have a spot open right now as a player. You happen to stream, you can apply to be on the content crew as a streamer or a commentator or whatever, right? You can do that for a semester. You might even end up loving it even more than you think you would love playing, right?
Yeah.
You end up doing that. Or you do content for a semester, a year, a spot free sub, then you get your shot, right? Then you get to try out and potentially make the team. There's different options, right? It's not black and white.
Mm-hmm.
But again, yeah, just a reference for transparency's sake, because I don't like to beat around the bush. Sometimes the reason why I don't reach out to students is not because they're not good enough or because they don't have the passion. It's just because we literally don't have the spots.
Yeah.
You know?
Nice. Yup. We're gonna be having it open to chat for a few more minutes, so make sure y'all ask us questions.
This is the last time you'll get to hear me speak
Ever.
for the rest of the year.
Favorite song right now? Go.
Favorite song right now?
Man, pulled out the phone. You on your recent liked song?
What was the question? Favorite song right now?
What's mine?
It's probably gotta be Sunkissed
Oh, by Kai Dreams?
by Kai Dreams.
Kai Dreams is a legend. If y'all need a fire playlist that's other than this one, man, I got a playlist with some Kai Dreams in it.
Kai Dreams, yeah, I've been listening to that for about a week now. Probably listened to it a lot. So
Nice. I don't think I have a favorite song. I know Fake Love is a song that I've been... Fake Love is a really good song. I've showed you that song before. What games do you guys play? I play OBS Streamlabs. I play Hearthstone for the team. That's my main game right now. I play Valorant and all that, but Hearthstone is the main game.
I wouldn't say I'm playing any game seriously right now, but probably Valorant. So I'll play a game or two, when I get home from work every day.
Mm-hmm.
And Hearthstone, yeah, probably those two. Those are always solid go-tos.
Nice. Is Kanye the GOAT?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Nice. I mean, don't get me. I'm waiting for the album to come out, but
is he working on an album? Is
it's
he
supposed to come out. It's supposed to come out, but Kanye.
Yeah. It takes like 5 years.
Right. We won't get into that. To answer the question, Kanye is the GOAT. Yes.
I personally think it's Lil Wayne. I really like Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne is. He's one of the all-time greats.
I think he's like
all-time great.
Solid. Kanye the GOAT. Okay, that if you want to answer that question.
What about League of Legends team? We don't have a League of Legends team. Sorry, I don't want to make it sound like
just like.
What about the League of Legends team? Yeah, no. We don't have League of Legends right now, and a big reason for that, if not the biggest reason actually, is about a year ago when I just gotten hired and I was doing interest surveys to see what teams we had or who would be interested. League of Legends unfortunately really did not have any substantial interest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think we had enough to even form a team. And if we had, it would have been around a gold average.
Okay.
That's not to say I don't think, the merit of adding a team isn't based on the skill.
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of it. That's not the predominant reason. But actually, even if we had, I'll be honest, even if we had a full clap roster, which is pretty decent.
Good.
It's pretty decent. The scene of collegiate League of Legends is so oversaturated. You could have a team of all challenger players, which is like the top 0.001%.
Okay.
The best of the best in terms of free agents that aren't professionals. And you would not even be top 16 in the nation. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I'm not making that up. I know that for a fact. There are teams that are all challenger, don't even make top 16. That's how good you have to be in League of Legends in college to get anywhere.
That's crazy.
It's not that way for other games, but for League in particular, it is just it's been around the longest, aside from StarCraft 2 in terms of modern esports. League came out in 2011. It's been around for a minute, so lots of people have had a lot of time to get really good at the game. A lot of these other games that we have, like Overwatch, Valorant, you know, they've been out for a few years. Valorant's been out for just over a year now, right? Overwatch, a handful of, you know, half the time League's been out. So it's not at that point of oversaturation yet. So to summarize, in my mind as a coach and as a director, the reason why I'm not going to add League of Legends probably is because it just wouldn't be an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
Because at Ashland, where I worked before, we had a team that was like D2 average with a challenger and like D2s and D1s. Which if you follow League of Legends, that's really good. Diamond players are already top 1%, right? We had a challenger player, and we just didn't, like, they were practicing, they were putting in the work. We didn't really see any results. And it's not because they weren't putting in the work or that they weren't good. It's just that everyone else we were playing was also
really
D1
good.
average, right?
Yeah.
And that was at our level. That we're not even talking about the higher levels. So the teams would, you know, they would get frustrated because they just had a hard time getting wins out. You know, it's just not. I know you shouldn't play it to just win, but the fact is, winning it's enjoyable. You want to play. You want to see results, and it's just one of those games where it's tough. It's tough unless we sign up for like leagues where we're just playing against bronze people, but no one wants to do that.
Yeah,
you know? It's not fair. It's not fair to either side. So yeah.
Main hobby other than gaming.
You want to go first?
I like probably weightlifting is gonna be my biggest hobby. I'm injured right now, so I have to stay back a little bit, but probably weightlifting or drawing, like drawing or painting. I like that a lot.
Main hobby for me, other than gaming.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Gotta count all of them, you know?
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure I can come up. I mean, I've been going to the gym for a while now, as Joey knows, and that's been definitely enjoyable. I don't know if I'd consider it a hobby.
It's just more a part of your routine.
Yeah, it's just part of my routine, which I do enjoy it. I would say playing the piano, but I haven't regularly played the piano, even casually, since I moved here.
Yeah.
And I really need I keep telling myself I want to play the piano again. So maybe I just need to start doing that, and then that can become a hobby.
Favorite song by Kanye?
It changes from time to time. For the past few years, it's probably been Real Friends.
Real Friends?
Yeah. But I have different kind of favorite songs, kind of per album almost. You know, because Kanye, I think of Kanye as every album almost like a different era of Kanye. And so when I have a favorite song, I'll kind of pick it from like the early phase Kanye, middle phase, you know, where he's at right now. And I'll have like one or two favorite songs from each of those eras. But Real Friends, it's such a solid song for me.
I don't think I've heard that one by Kanye yet.
It's really good. It was on Life of Pablo.
I think my when I listen to Kanye, I like Church in the Wild, but I have to be like in a certain mood to listen to Church in the Wild. But that's such a solid song, the lyrics and all that. But my go-to like Kanye song is Heartless.
Heartless, that's a good one.
Heartless is a really good one.
Right, and Kanye, some of his songs, like they can evoke like some emotion.
Yeah.
Right, like you may have to be in the mood for it, but like just the way he does his beats and the samples he does, and like the choral sounds and the orchestras, he can have some really big sounds that you would never associate with rap or hip hop, but he makes it work, and that's the beauty of Kanye, you know.
Yeah. Oh, unlucky. Max reps on bench.
Max reps on bench.
So, I don't know my max right now, but I know last week I got 225 for a set of 10 after on my third set. So I was already doing sets, and then I got to 225, and I did 6 and then 4. So I did 10 reps on 2 plates.
I mean, my last max was still, I think, 135.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
135's kind of been that barrier for me.
Mine was 225 back in high school.
So, granted that 135 we maxed out, that was more than a month. That's been almost 6 weeks now since we did that max. So hopefully I can get past that.
Yeah, that's coming.
In the next 2 weeks we do another max, and we'll see. Fingers crossed.
What is your favorite and least favorite thing about your career or / job?
What is my favorite
and least favorite?
And least favorite.
Ivana added the least at the end.
Oh. Favorite thing? Working with students. It makes me feel young.
You're old. If you didn't know, our coach is 37. He's getting old.
I'm not 37.
He tries to say that he's 26.
I'm 26.
All the time. See? This is what I mean. He always says he's 26.
I have my driver's license on. I can pull it.
He was born in 85.
No. I enjoy working with the students. And I'm not saying that just to say it. Like, this is something that I've been doing. Like I said, community building my whole life. And to be able to do this in college now. When I went through college, I didn't have any of this. None of this existed. These positions didn't exist. Varsity Esports didn't exist. The club that I was a part of at University of Missouri was, no offense to them, it was kind of bad.
Yeah.
They had a club. They did nothing. They had nothing together. No get-togethers or anything like that. No sense of community. So now, one thing that I've been trying to do when I have the opportunity to work on programs is just create everything that I would have wanted, that what I would have felt, happy with, and provide that to the students. So that's probably the favorite thing, is when students come to me and they're happy, or that they're like, I love playing here, or the fact that I can represent the university while playing, just anything that makes them happy, makes me happy, and it makes me want to keep doing it. Least favorite thing, I don't have anything in particular.
Working with the GA?
No.
Nah, it's a funny joke.
It's it can be very stressful at times, especially during the season, because on one hand, I'm the face of esports to the university. Like, I represent our program to the rest of the university. And so a lot of people, anytime anyone has questions, anytime anyone wants someone to speak on esports. Okay, we love Anna here.
We love Anna and her plant. It's her plant.
But yeah, I can get asked and pulled in a lot of different directions on very short notice to do lots of different things. So that can be a little bit frustrating at times. But there's not, again, that doesn't mean I don't like to do that, because I like talking about esports with people, because going back to that education piece, but it definitely makes it really stressful. And there's times when, in season, I'm here, 10, 11 hours a day the whole week. I don't even have a weekend. Like, this past year, I don't think I had a free weekend for like over 2 months. Yeah, and that's not me complaining. That's how it is. That's the work that needs to be done. And fortunately, we have Anna now, who's going to be able to help me a lot more, and I'm sure that'll make things a lot easier for me, because I'll be able to share those responsibilities with her. But it's stressful, and you just got to be ready for that. Mental health obviously is a huge thing in general. So for me personally, I'm gonna try to take care of myself as best as I can when it gets really busy.
Nice. Food stream part 2. When was part 1?
I did the part 1. Remember? Were you not there for that? I made the meat cake. I don't think you were there for that.
Oh, is it on your personal?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, that sounds like something I would do, but like I don't remember doing it here. But I didn't. I wasn't there for that one.
No,
I wasn't.
it was. Not,
I missed that part
good.
of the lore.
It was not good.
We need the sushi.
Yeah, I think they did a vote. My next one's supposed to be sushi.
Sushi.
So
Nice.
hopefully, maybe I can do that before the semester starts.
Nice. Alrighty, we're gonna start closing out stream. Travis, any last words?
Hannah, you're fired.
Okay.
I'm joking. It's a running gag.
No, it's
You're
not.
fired. I'm fired. No, just appreciate you having me on for this interview. You've been doing some really good work.
Appreciate it.
I know you guys have been seeing Joey every single week for the past whatever. Hopefully,
Like
you guys
8 months.
Don't get tired of his face.
Hey.
But no, I appreciate the work you've been doing, and I'm glad that this is something you're passionate about. So just keep doing your thing, and I know you're gonna do a good job helping build up other people as they come in and try to do their thing with the content crew. So I'm excited about that.
Nice.
But yeah, other than that, I'm just excited to see everyone again. Fingers crossed, nothing goes crazy.
We need to get rid of that.
And we'll be back. Everyone will be back on campus. In like what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, in about 2 weeks. I can see everybody, and we can show them the room. We can watch anime together. Oh man, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Nice. The turn off monitor was a good idea at the time, but
We'll need to refund Miss Spidey her.
Yeah, we will. Yeah. So I can close it out real quick. Last announcements. Tomorrow is our community night. We're gonna be doing Overwatch. So if y'all have Overwatch or want to get Overwatch, it's open to the community. So all students, staff, alumni, friends of such are all welcome to join us tomorrow. As far as next week, we got Esports Report on Monday. We got a gaming stream on Wednesday. Next Thursday is going to be most of the Iceberg. That's where we talk to Anna, our GA. And then Friday, we're going to have another somewhat community night. And we'll get back to y'all when that is announced. And if y'all want to hear that, I will link our... why is that not working? Link our Discord. So make sure y'all join our Discord to keep up to date on all our streams, events, and anything related to esports. But that is all I got for y'all today. As always, it's been your boy Jay Dizzle with the sizzle that never fizzles. And hello. Hello. Ho-wo.
That's my new name, by the way.
Yeah.
Ho-wo.
Nice. You should
Not
change
ho-wo.
on everything.
Ho-wo, yeah.
So you're going to change on your Steam?
Yeah.
And your
My jersey,
Discord, your jersey,
my tattoo.
your tattoo, your driver's license, your social security number. Nice. Alrighty. So yeah, hope y'all have a good night. And we'll see y'all later. Peace.